so in today's video I will be demonstrating how to set up EC2 instances, attach them to a target group and redirect traffic to that target group through a application load balancer. So you will learn how to set up an application load balancer as well as target groups as well as EC2 instances. Let's get into it right now. Okay, so I am in the EC2 instance web page. This is the page. Okay, come over to instances. First we launch two instances. If you want a more detailed video on how to launch instances, you can check out my channel. I already have one. Application load balancer web server, that should do. That's a good name. Amazon Linux with AMI is Amazon Linux AMI is free tier eligible. We're going to be using a T2 micros because it's a free tier. We do not need a key pair because we are not going to be connecting through SSH. You can create a new security group and allow HTTP traffic from the internet. I'm allowing it so we can test out some functionalities to see if it is working. I'm going to leave storage as is. In advanced details, you can scroll all the way down. Here I want you to put in some basic user data. This will help us know whether the system is working or not. I'll increase the size so you can see it clearly. Yeah, so this should do it. It's a bash script which will run on the first time an instance is launched. Instance gets booted up. Okay, now we're gonna create two instances. Okay, so you can go ahead and launch it. Successfully launched. If you go to instances, let me refresh. Here you go, you have two instances. Let's rename them for a bit more clarity. Let's name this ALB server 1. And this would be ALB web server 2. Now we have two instances which are very similar. I mean, they're on the same user data. They're also in the same availability zone. Now it's already running. So let's see if they're working. Now because we are using HTTP, you have to use the HTTP protocol. So you have to manually type in the HTTP instead of HTTPS. HTTPS will not work. Okay, it seems like it's still getting configured, so it's gonna give it a moment. Okay, in about 20 seconds it started working. Hello world from IP 172.3.1.12.219. That's basically one of our instances. Let's see if the other instance works as well. HTTP hello world. Okay, so it's working. As you can see, they have separate IP addresses. Okay, so now let's put these two in a target group. So how do you create a target group? You can come over to the left hand side, go all the way to the bottom, target groups, create a target group. We're going to be creating a target group using EC2 instances. The other options are IP addresses. So let's say you want to redirect all your traffic to a private server which is in your end, right? So you can mention the private IP address, public IP address of your own infrastructure, a lambda function, or you could redirect it to an other application load balancer. Let's call it demo TG for target group. It's going to be running on HTTP protocol on port 80. We're going to be using IPv4. I'm going to leave the VPC as default. Health check protocol, leave it as is. We will get to it if we have time today. Next, available instances. So you have to register the targets. You have to mention which EC2 instances do you want part of the target group. So I'm going to select both of them. Include as port is 80 because HTTP. Include as pending below. That should do it. Create a target group. That's how simple it is. Now 0 healthy because it needs to do a health check to make sure that the connection is working. So this will refresh on its own in about 20-30 seconds. It's still unused. Okay, the target group is done. Now let's create a load balancer. We don't have any currently. we're going to be creating an application load balancer. Application load balancer can handle HTTP requests and HTTPS requests, whereas a network load balancer can handle TCP, UDP, TLS. You would want to use a network load balancer if you have very high performance requirements and very low latency is something you expect. But it is not free tier eligible, so if you do go ahead with it, you're going to have to pay. I'm going to be creating an application load balancer because it's free to use. As you can see here, network load balancer are capable of handling millions of requests per second while maintaining ultra low latencies. So if that's a use case, you would want to go with that. Okay, we can call it demo LB, application load balancer. It's an internet facing, so people on the internet should be able to use it. We want it to be in all the AZs, so I'm going to put all of them. Security group, I think we need to create a security group. Let's go and create a new security group for this. So in the security group, we would want all public traffic to be coming demo ALBSG. That is okay. Okay. Inbound rules. We want HTTP traffic from anywhere because it's a test, right? So I'm going to keep it anywhere for now. We do not want SSH traffic, so that's why I'm not adding it. Okay, you can create that security group. It's called demo ALB-ASG. Now let's go ahead and link that. Let's refresh. Demo, remove the default, done. Now listeners and routing. So this is going to be listening on port 80, and all traffic coming through port 80 is going to be forwarded to this target group. So we have already created one. I'm going to select that. That is enough. Let's go ahead and create a load balancer. Okay, as you can see, it's provisioning. It takes up to 5 minutes sometimes. And this is the DNS name. So this is where our ALB is going to be accessible. Let's just copy it. Yeah, of course, it's going to take a while. So yeah, if you want to access your ALB, you need to access it through this DNS name. So I'll just pause the video until it starts running. Okay, so the server has started. I mean, the ALB has started, and as you can see here, I'm getting a response from the from the website. So as you can see, as I keep refreshing, the requests are being served from two different servers now, as you can see, because the IP is changing. So what does that mean? The requests are being distributed among the target group instances. So that is the whole objective of having an ALB. So yeah, in about 8 minutes we achieved that much. Now let's go into some more depth. Oh my god, depth. Okay, now if you come to the ALB, yeah, so this is the ALB page. Let me just refresh it. Active. If you come down to rules, listeners and rules. By default, we just have HTTP, and it has one rule, right? Now let's go and add some rules for HTTP. Add a rule. Condition. Let's add a condition. Let us say the path. Okay, the path has /error in it. Now what do you want to do? Okay, this is the condition, right? So if the path has /error, so that would mean /error. Right now it's just serving the website as is, but it should not, right? It's not found, but we need to handle this. Let's say it's an error page. What do we do? So go to next. I mean, we define the rule. Now we need to add the action that needs to be performed when that rule is when that instance comes in. Forward to target group, no. We are going to return a fixed response. Let us say 404 text plain URL not found. Please return to safety. That sounds great. So whenever a request comes in for that, and we're gonna set the priority as one being the highest and 50,000 being the lowest. So that's how the numbering works. So first it would verify against this rule and then move on to the next rule. So that's what priority is. And yeah, we can go ahead and create the rule. Created rule. Now let's try this again. /error needs to propagate. Give it a couple seconds. Yeah, there we go. URL not found. Please return to safety. So now we are handling exceptions. There are a lot of use cases, right? But yeah, that is one example of what can be done with listener rules. One more thing, one more important thing. Now, as you can see here, this is, if you remember, this is the public IP address of the EC2 instance and not the target group. This is still working, right? This is still serving responses, which is not ideal because we want traffic to only go through our application load balancer, and this should not be accessible, right? Now, how do we do this? So now we need to modify the security group of the instances, correct? Now let's come over here to security. This is the security group. Edit inbound rules. We don't need SSH, we don't need HTTP publicly. So we need to allow traffic only from the ALB, right? So only traffic coming through the application load balancer should end up here in the EC2 instance. So we need to attach the security group of the application load balancer to this one. So all traffic coming from the ALB security group will pass on to the EC2 instances. So that's the only way you can access the EC2 instances. So here you can do custom TCP. Scroll down here and you're going to find demo ALB ST. Yeah, save the rule. That's about it. Now if you come over here and refresh this, it should not serve a response, or it'll stay loading infinitely. It'll never serve a response. As you can see, it's still loading. Same for this. Yeah, but if you come here and if you refresh this, okay, this is the error page. Okay, I actually paused the video because there was an error in my configuration. Let's go over to the EC2. I got a gateway timeout. That was because I didn't allow HTTP traffic. I was allowing custom TCP. So that threw an error. Let's go to the security group. Yeah, I actually fixed it, so I'm just going to show you what it was before. So before it was custom TCP. This will not work because HTTP traffic is coming through. So this has to be set to HTTP. You can save the rule. I've not made any change because I've already done it. But yeah, now it should work. Yeah, so now you can see the load is being distributed, but you cannot access the instances individually. So we have achieved what we set out to do. Okay, so I think that was it for the video. If you enjoyed and if you learned something new, please leave a comment, and if you have any suggestions, I'm open to them as well. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.